Hello, Data and Skill Explorer. Welcome to DivK Learner, a bit forward daily. So, we started with a new session of 30 SQL queries AI challenge in which we'll be asking the 30 queries, same queries in 5 different tools. So, what are we going to do today? We are going to start with very basic. So, if you are new to SQL Server, right, don't worry, you can join in this session. For the next 30 days, you will learn how to write queries in SQL, and we will also try to learn that what we can do with the AI tools that are available for us or to us for the SQL queries. And then with those queries, what outputs do we get? So I'm just trying to compare the outputs that I receive from 5 different tools, which I am using here, which I have mentioned in yesterday's call as well. So we are talking about the Chat GPT, we are talking about the Perplexity, we are talking about Claudia, we are talking about Gemini, and we are talking about Copilot. I'm using all of them, all of them as the free version of them, right? And that is what we are going to do. I'll just repeat the same thing in Hindi for all the Hindi audiences that I have. नमस्कार डेटा और स्किल के एक्सप्लोरर्स, मैं डिव के लर्नर आपका वेलकम करता हूं और वी विल कीप ऑन मूविंग वन स्टेप फॉरवर्ड. हम एक एक कदम बढ़ लेकर आगे बढ़ेंगे. सो आज का वीडियो हम जो बना रहे हैं, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट कंपेयरिंग द आउटपुट ऑफ 5 डिफरेंट या 5 अलग अलग एआई टूल्स कि वो हमारे को क्वेरी के बारे में क्या देते हैं, हम क्वेरी पे क्या करते हैं और किस तरह से काम करते हैं, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. और वो क्वेरीज का रिजल्ट क्या रहता है, और फिर उन क्वेरीज को हम रन करेंगे अपने एसक्यूएल सर्वर के अंदर जो हमने इंस्टॉल किया है. तो अगर आपको एसक्यूएल के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है, आप मेरे साथ ये 30 क्वेरीज वाले ऑप्शन को फॉलो करें और 30 डेज के अंदर आप काफी कुछ सीख पाएंगे. जो आज से हम शुरू करने जा रहे हैं, जैसे मैं दिखा रहा था पहले भी, ये कुछ 5 टूल्स मैंने लिए हैं. मैं इन 5 टूल्स के ऊपर क्वेरीज डालूंगा, सेम क्वेरी डालूंगा, सेम डेटा निकालूंगा, फिर मैंने एक एक्सेल बनाई है. इस एक्सेल के अंदर मैं वो डेटा डालूंगा और फिर इस एक्सेल से हम एक पावर बीआई क्वेरी को या पावर बीआई डैशबोर्ड को बनाएंगे. So as I was talking in Hindi, we'll be keeping all the answers that we'll be getting from all the AI tools in this particular Excel. And from this particular Excel, we will be generating a Power BI report. I'll not start with the Power BI report today. I'll start it once we have some amount of data that we can show. So मैं वो Power BI की रिपोर्ट आज नहीं बनाऊंगा, मैं उसे बनाऊंगा इन couple of days. और मैं जैसे बोल रहा था कि अगर आप SQL में नए हैं तो don't worry, we will start from scratch because this is giving you the information of SQL from scratch. So very quickly, I'll take you back to the presentation. So in this video, we are going to talk about what is Microsoft SQL Server. Microsoft SQL Server is a relational database management system. When I say relational database management system, I'm talking about creating different tables so that they have relationships. And in that kind of relationship, we are talking about the relationship between the class and the marks, right? We can have them in one table, but if we put it in one table, we'll require to repeat the same name multiple of times for each unit, for each exam. And that is where the issue would come in, because if I have to change the name of one person, I'll not have to change it once. I'll have to do it multiple number of times. So this video is not for the relational database management system. For that, you will be studying a different study for understanding it. But just to give you an overview of the things, that is what the SQL Server is. So SQL Server, the first thing is that you need to install SQL Server. For installing the SQL Server, I'll put this link in the description as well, right? But if you want to see, this is where you install the SQL Server from. So here you can click on the download. You have various different versions of the SQL, and one of them is the Express one, which I'm using, which is free of cost. You can see it's a free edition, right? Although many of them would be free edition as well. The developer is free as well. You can see that if you want to use it, it consumes a bigger space. When you're talking about the Express, it can work on a smaller space. but if you have a bigger space in your system, then you can use the SQL Developer Edition as well. And again, based on the business requirement, you can move over to the next one, which is SQL Server on premise, or if you want everything on an online version, you can go to the SQL Server on Azure. So that is the first thing. Then what will happen once you install it? Like any software that you install it and it gets executed. This is actually how an SQL Server lives. So this is an SQL Server on your machine. Now this is Express Edition that I was talking about. That's what I've installed. Once you install it, what you can do is you can click on the Start button, and then you can click on the SQL Server Configuration Manager. And once you click on that, this particular window will open up. Now, what SQL does internally, in just layman term, it picks up your data, it creates some files, like you create Word file, you create Excel file, or you create any of those files. SQL Server has its own format of files, and it creates and keeps all your data in those files. And that files are actually the DB files that you have. I'll be showing you that as well, might be later in the course, not today. But this part that I wanted to show you initially. Now, once you have installed the SQL Server, you need to talk to the SQL Server, right? So for talking to the SQL Server, you have various different tools. One of those tools is SSMS, which is called SQL Server Management Studio. So to install that SQL Server Management Studio, what you can do is, this is the link. I'll put this in the description as well. This is how you install the SQL Server Management Studio. Once you have installed it, you can click on the Start button and you can click on SSMS, that is SQL Server Management Studio. Once you click on that, it will open up an application for you like this. Now, if you see, once you have installed the server, you want to connect to it, what you have to do is you click on the Connect Database Engine, and then you will get the name of the database server that you have installed, and you can click on Connect. So the moment you click on Connect, it will connect it like this, where you would be able to see the server, and below that you will be able to see database security, server objects, and the other things that you would be able to see in the Object Explorer. So this is the SQL Server that I'll be using in the entire session. So I'll just repeat the same thing in Hindi for all the Hindi viewers, right? तो जैसे मैंने समझाया कि what is SQL, सबसे पहले SQL क्या है, वो एक रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम है. मैं रिलेशनल डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम की पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन के बारे में बात नहीं करूंगा, बट मैं आपको सिर्फ इतना बता देता हूँ. इसके अंदर आप टेबल्स को अलग अलग बनाते हो ताकि आपको डेटा कम सेव करना पड़े और आपका ज़्यादा वैल्यू सेव हो. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर मुझे किसी स्टूडेंट्स और उसके एग्जामिनेशन के रिजल्ट्स सेव करने हैं, तो अगर मैं उन दोनों को एक ही टेबल में सेव करूंगा तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा स्पेस लेंगे और उसको अपडेट करना भी मुश्किल होगा मेरे लिए. तो उसके लिए मैं क्या करूंगा, उसको मैं अलग अलग टेबल्स में बांटूंगा और उनके बीच में रिलेशनशिप बनाऊंगा. जो अगर आपने देखा हो कभी, तो आपने जॉइंस के बारे में सुना होगा, और भी रिलेशनशिप के बारे में होता है, जैसे प्राइमरी की, फॉरेन की, वो सारी चीजें भी हैं इसमें. हम उसके बारे में भी बात करेंगे, क्योंकि जब हम टेबल्स क्रिएट करेंगे तो हम ये सारी चीजें भी बनाएंगे. सो लेट्स वेरी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम वेरी सिंपल थिंग कि एसक्यूएल सर्वर क्या है. एसक्यूएल सर्वर एक एप्लीकेशन है जो हमारे को डेटा को सेव करने में मदद करती है. तो जैसे मैं दिखा रहा था अपने इंग्लिश व्यूअर्स को भी, मैं आपको भी दिखाता हूँ कि एसक्यूएल सर्वर के लिए आप यहाँ पर जाओगे, ये वाली लिंक पर, और ये लिंक मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी दे दूंगा. आप एसक्यूएल सर्वर को इंस्टॉल कर सकते हो, और ये आपके पास 4 एडिशंस हैं जिसमें आप इंस्टॉल कर सकते हो. मैं अभी जो इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ वो एक्सप्रेस एडिशन इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ. आप डेवलपर और एक्सप्रेस कुछ भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो, दोनों फ्री लाइसेंस्ड हैं. अगर आप अपने क्लाउड में कोई डेटा रखना चाहते हो, यानी कि आप एज्योर में रखना चाहते हो, तो आप एसक्यूएल सर्वर ऑन एज्योर ले लोगे. अगर आप अपने कंप्यूटर के अंदर, अपने सिस्टम के अंदर रखना चाहते हो, और आपके बिजनेस की नेसेसिटी है कि आपको पूरा एप्लीकेशन इस्तेमाल करना है, तो आप कर सकते हो. सीखने के लिए ये 2 चीज़ें काफ़ी हैं, एसक्यूएल एक्सप्रेस और एसक्यूएल सर्वर डेवलपर. मैं एक्सप्रेस का इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ इस पूरे सीरीज में, और मैं उसी का करूँगा. तो जब आप एसक्यूएल सर्वर को इंस्टॉल, या फिर एसक्यूएल एक्सप्रेस को, या फिर डेवलपर को इंस्टॉल कर लोगे, तो आपको वहां एक चीज मिलेगी जिसका नाम है SQL कॉन्फ़िगरेशन मैनेजर। तो मैं यहाँ पर अगर SQL कॉन्फ़िगरेशन मैनेजर पे क्लिक करता हूँ तो ये मेरे को इस तरह की एक विंडो खोल के देगा, जिसमें आप देख पाओगे कि सर्वर इंस्टॉल्ड है। अब ये सर्वर क्या है? एक सर्विस है। अब इस सर्विस को बात करने के लिए कोई टूल की तो जरूरत है। तो वो टूल हमारे लिए, वैसे तो बहुत सारे टूल्स होंगे, लेकिन अभी जो हम इसके लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं टूल, दैट इज SSMS। तो यहाँ पर मैं आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में उसका लिंक भी दे दूंगा, विच इज दिस पार्ट, SQL सर्वर मैनेजमेंट स्टूडियो। तो ये इसका काम क्या है? ये आपको, आपके लिए सिंपल सी चीज करेगा कि एक आपके लिए डायलॉग बॉक्स बनाएगा, एक एप्लीकेशन बनाएगा जिससे आप डेटाबेस से बात कर सकोगे। तो जब आप इसे इंस्टॉल कर लोगे, फिर आप स्टार्ट बटन पे जाओगे और SSMS लिखोगे तो आपको दिखाएगा SQL सर्वर मैनेजमेंट स्टूडियो। जब आप इस पे डबल क्लिक करोगे तो ये आपके लिए ये एक स्टूडियो खोल देगा। यहाँ से आप जाके कनेक्ट करके डेटाबेस इंजन पे क्लिक करोगे तो आप सर्वर से कनेक्ट कर सकते हो। और जब आप इसे कनेक्ट कर लोगे तो वो इस तरह से आपको लेफ्ट साइड में दिखेगा। तो अभी तक हमने क्या कर लिया? SQL सर्वर को इंस्टॉल कर लिया, SSMS को कर लिया हमने इंस्टॉल। SSMS के ऊपर हम बात करेंगे। तो आज जो हम करेंगे, दैट वुड बी, विल बी टॉकिंग विद द टूल्स। आज हम सिर्फ 3 टूल्स कवर करेंगे, क्योंकि हम 5 टूल्स की बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम आज 3 टूल्स कवर करेंगे और उनसे बोलेंगे कि अब वो हमारे को एक्सप्लेन करें व्हाट अ डेटाबेस इज इन सिंपल टर्म्स, और हमें कमांड दें डेटाबेस को क्रिएट करने की। तो हम सबसे पहले ये 2 कमांड्स अपने पास नोटपैड में लिख लेंगे और मैं आपको वो कमांड्स भी शेयर कर दूंगा डिस्क्रिप्शन में। So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to ask the question uh, from various different tools, right? The 2 questions that we'll ask is what explanation they want to give about the database, which is being in simple term for the SQL Server, or in the context of SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. और दूसरा क्वेश्चन क्या रहेगा? दूसरा क्वेश्चन रहेगा please provide, or might be provide commands to create database on Microsoft SQL Server. और फिर हम ये कमांड्स को कहाँ लिखेंगे? We will be copying these commands and putting it in this Excel. So I'll put in today's date here. So this is 2025-09-20, right? So that's where we are talking about. To make it more fancy, I'll go here, click on format, uh, or might be do a right click and click on format cell, and I want the date in the day and the other format. So today is Saturday 20th, and that's where we are creating this particular video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some kind of a relationship here as well. So I'll just create I've already created a help sheet. So here I will write down the queries. I'll write down queries ID, and I will write down queries. Right, so the first query that we would be asking all of them, or all the tools, would be, I'll just increase the size of it. The first query would be explain what is cancel, sorry, I just need to place in the text. So explain what is a database in simple term in the context of the SQL Server. And the second command, or the second query that we are talking about, is this one, which is provide commands to create database on Microsoft SQL Server. So here I'll just give it a name, query ID. So I will write down database 1, and then I'll make this as the query ID as database 2. Right, so I'll show you some more tricks in the Excel as well when we are going through it, but let's just go with this. I'll just pick this up and go to my tools, 5 tools that I've created, So I'll go to the chat GPT. I'll put this here. It is just copying. I just wanted the text. So I'll pick this text from the notepad so that there is no image attached to it. I will run it here. I will run it in the Perplexity, and I will run it today on Claude. Only three of them, or might be. Let's just do it on Gemini as well, right? Okay, I think we'll try this tomorrow, might be, and Copilot tomorrow. Let's just see on the Chat GPT. Now, Chat GPT gives you a good description. It says that database in SQL is a digital container. So it is just like a box that we create on the database. You can go through the text. I'll also go through the text today, and I'll give you the feedback. So I'll just click on here to copy it, and then I'll go into my Excel. And in the Excel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the output of the queries somewhere here. So I'll just put in another row, insert output of query. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this cell, paste it here. This might look changing, but I'll just click on remove the word wrap so that it comes in the single row. So this is only description. We are not concerned with the SQL server at the moment. The only thing that I have to write down here is the chat GPT. I'll go and check it on the other side again. So this is where I'm getting the explanation in the concept of perplexity. So I can copy this here as well. And I'll just go here and put the output of the query here. Oh, sorry. I'll have to go into the address bar and then paste it. So once pasted, it will again change it. So I'll remove the word wrap. Here I'll put in perplexity, right? So in order to not put it every time, we'll try to use the data validation, which I'll create in the data in the file, and we would be able to use it. And the next one that we are talking about is Claude. So I'll just copy this again. So that's the copy symbol there, and put it here. Again, I need to put it in the address bar and name it as the tool that we are using. And again, remove the word wrap so that it remains in the one line. You can go through it, and we will put that answers tomorrow, or I'll put the clarity and put and try to understand this tomorrow. But I wanted to run the second information here, which would be important and which we'll be checking today in order to create that container as well. So I'll go back to the chat GPT and I'll put the second question that I've written, which is provide command to create database on the SQL server. Same thing, I'll do it in the perplexity as well. And the same thing, I'll do it in the Claude as well. So I will not, I'll copy the answers that they've given a bit later. Now I just want to run with the commands, right? So now if you see here, it is trying to create a lot of things for me. Let's just start with the database. So here in the chat GPT, it is giving us that we can create a table, create a database with that particular name. That would be the file name where it would be saved. If I want to change the name of the file and save it somewhere else, it's up to me. This is where it will be saving everything. But for beginners, they are saying this command is enough. So I'll just copy this command, and this would be schooldb. The best part is I've not given it any information till now. If I go here as well, it is saying that you can create the database with the database name, because I think that ChatGPT is giving me a good or more answers, because ChatGPT already knows what kind of thing I'm planning to do. I will not go into the bigger picture, but I'll just try to create this small one there. That is, make it very simple and run this particular command, which is there. So I will go here into new query and put this command here, and then I will click on execute. So the moment I click on execute, it says that the command is successful. And if I go into the database, refresh it, you will see that my database has been created with the name of the school DB. So it works perfectly fine with the chat GPT. And I'm going to do the same thing with the information that they have given us. You can create database using the database name, for example, the test DB. I will not name it test DB, but I'll name it as, I'll go back and pick this up, go to the SQL server, and I will put the command in the same place, change the database name to perplex school DB. And then what I'm going to do is click on execute. So it also will create a, I'll just refresh it and it will also create a database for me. That is the container. Now let's just go into the third one, that's Claude. So it has given me a big complete steps, but that might be too much for a newcomer. So we want to keep it as simple as the first line that they've given us. So that's the same thing that what we are going to do is we are going to pick this up. We are going to go here and we are going to paste it here. And I will name it as, because we have taken it from Claudia, we'll put in Claude DB. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to execute as well. So by doing this, what we have done is we have created 3 different databases in which we'll be creating the tables and then we'll be saving the data, right? So we have done it for 3 tools. We'll be doing it for the other 3 as well, other 2 as well tomorrow, right? But for now, we'll end this video with these 3 things there. And tomorrow we'll talk about the different outputs, or we'll try to compare the things. So you can also go through it. You can see the examples, or you can go through the codes yourself and you can give me your own interpretation of things, whether it was easy, hard, or what it was. And we'll talk about it in tomorrow's video. So I'll be waiting for your comments, right? I'll just repeat the entire thing for my Hindi viewers as well, some part of it. So जैसे हमने देखा है, हमने क्या करा, हमने queries को ढूंढा है, हमने questions को पूछा है, किन से? ये 3 tools है आज, जहाँ पे हमने chat GPT, perplexity सॉरी, और क्लॉड से हमने पूछा है. ये 3 टूल का आज हमने इस्तेमाल करा है. कल हम इस्तेमाल करेंगे जेमिनी और कोपायलट का, एंड देन वील बी चेकिंग ऑन दोस एज वेल. अभी तक हमने 3 डेटाबेसेस बनाई हैं, क्रिएट डेटाबेस के नाम से, और उससे हमने 3 डेटाबेसेस बनाई हैं. आगे जाके हम टेबल वगैरह भी इससे बनाएंगे, राइट? सो आप मुझे कमेंट्स में लिख के बता सकते हैं कि आपको कैसा लगा, और आप कमेंट्स में, मैं ये एक्सेल की फाइल अगर आप ज्वाइन करना चाहेंगे तो मैं आपको लिंक दे दूंगा, जिससे आप ये एक्सेल की फाइल ले सकते हैं और एक्सेल की फाइल के अंदर आप अपने भी कमेंट्स डाल सकते हैं, एंड यू कैन टेक द टेम्पलेट एज वेल. सो आज के लिए इतना ही. दैट इज ऑल दैट आई वांटेड टू पुट इन टुडे. सो मिलते हैं कल के सेशन में. अगर ये कॉन्सेप्ट और वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करें. इफ यू लाइक द वीडियो एंड व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, प्लीज लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब. मैं हूं आपका स्किल और डेटा एक्सप्लोरिंग पेयर. आई एम योर डेटा एंड स्किल एक्सप्लोरिंग पेयर, div के learner, a bit forward daily. Until then, keep exploring, keep churning.